The feedback I get from them is, I feel that he thinks that that's the best we have, and that we do not pick a candidate because he is a relative of someone or he is connected to someone, but he is picked because on the ground he is deemed to be the most winnable candidate. And I feel that a lot of times they are more on the modest side. They usually don't say, oh, I've got 70-80% of winning. They usually will tell you 55 or they are quite modest in their own assessment of their own ability. And that is quite typical of SUPP candidate.
Well, was the Prime Minister happy with the performance of SUPP White Beach?
On the whole, yes. Especially with the one in the town area, in the urban area. I must say that he really impresses Sarawakians. First, Sarawak is a very multi-racial state, and being a very multi-racial state, we have practiced multi-racialism very, very long ago. And his One Malaysia concept actually just fit into our way of life, the way the Sarawakians have been living all the time. So this alone endear him to our people. The other thing that really endear him to our people is, I think he is the Prime Minister has visited the rural area more than anyone else. He has been to places that even some of us have not been, and he has been to these really remote places where he wants first-hand to understand the problem in rural areas. He knows that there are so much things we have to do because it's a big state and it is behind in a lot of development and a lot of infrastructures that we need in the rural areas. And in the town area, he understands education, Chinese education, the touch points of the Chinese, what the Chinese want. The Chinese want business, and the Chinese want education for the children. He knows that, and he responds to that very quickly. The other thing I think most people are very impressed is when he says he's going to do it, he do it. And he do it fast. He doesn't really wait half a year or a year to have it done. He will do it straight away. And that is very, very impressive. Of course, it's relevant. I mean, there's the only representation for the Chinese is SUPP, and whether you like it or not, it is the party that has been for 52 years today. It represents the Chinese. They know SUPP know the pulse of the Chinese. They know what the Chinese wants, and most Chinese leaders in SUPP know that. As I said, we are in contact with people all the time. Every weekend we go back. Any problem we have got there, it is brought to us. We don't splash it in the press very often because we thought a lot of times we like to solve it without too much fuss. But some other politicians, they like to sort of make fuss about things. We thought if we can solve it quietly, solve it because we know the sensitivity of the other races. In fact, our approach is very multiracial. We think of all the other races together. No lah, we never. Most of our YBs are professionals. As a target party, maybe they see us working very closely with the people with money or the corporate people. Obviously, when you run a country, when you run a party, first of all you need financial backing. And that you need finances to run the party. Obviously, we have people who help us with this, who believe in our ideology and subscribe to the ideology, and therefore sometimes even subscribe to the financial needs of our party. This we accept, but they do not interfere with the policy of the government. They do not try to influence us in our implementation of government policy. That is very important, I think. They can help us, they can financially help us, all those things, but they do not interfere in the running of the government. And that is very important. And I say, we want to build a school, a Chinese school. But how do you think we can get the money? The the party is not rich enough to be able to, build schools for our people. So what we do is we ask these people to help us. That does not mean that, they would influence us to change the policy of the government. They just, because we ask them, they come forward and help the school. Mainly because the Chinese are very practical people. They are people who knows they just want a good living. They just want education for the people. And who are the people who can do that for them? Who are the people who can influence the government to do that for them? It must be ministers inside the government. If you are outside the government, you can shout until the cows come home, but your influence may not be, maybe just minimal. Although, as I always say, we will also listen to the opposition, but we have to, when they are constructive. But more important is that we are inside the government, know what the government is doing. We must know what the government is doing, whether they are doing things right or wrong. We are there to be able to, at least, if there is anything that is really going out of hand, we will be there. And also, when there are needs, the needs of our people can be actually, realized if we are there. We can, the more people we have there, we have more strength, the more, the more easy it is for us to be able to help our people, the people we represent. But that is what political parties are all about. You have to have representations. If, for example, there is no Chinese ministers or people in the government, Chinese, representation in the government, then who is going to, speak your needs? When you have got people in position in the government, then it's easier for you to do things. So I have confidence that the Chinese will vote very wisely in this election, and that they would want Chinese representation in the government.